Welcome back to Park to Prem, welcome back to a transfer special. Last episode, Suljic, our star boy, announced he would be leaving at the end of his contract, and he is one of the few players that I've maybe got to come up with a plan with going through this summer. Now, of course, it is the 1st of July in game, there's a few weeks left to get some business done, and when we left things last time, a couple of things up in the air. Denner potentially heading to Crystal Palace for £4.6 million. If I am going to sell my starting left-back, I feel like I've got to have a plan for when he goes. And with respect to Sassy, our backup left wing-back, he is not good enough to start in the Championship, is he? In terms of transfers in, we've got Jimenez we're waiting on a work permit appeal for. I really like the look of this centre-back. He is more of a backup player, though. We've got David Mulryan, who I'm hoping is going to be joining us to be our new backup right-back. Otherwise, that's an area of the pitch we still need to address. Of course, just as a little reminder, there's a lot of teams that have made bids for him. And last but not least, I tabled a contract offer to William Jeffries of £15,000. I am not convinced that's actually a good use of our money. Shopping list for today, new starting left-back, backup right-back, backup centre-mid, maybe a starting striker. And our first game of the season is 36 days away. I am really hoping that Jimenez is going to be granted a work permit. I think he could be a really good centre-back for the future. My staff definitely think he's got that potential. Obviously, an issue with this guy is he's not going to be in the first team. So if he gets given an ESC work permit, he's not going to get the 60 minutes required or 60% of minutes that the first team play required to actually get a work permit at the end of the first season. But you know what? Clubs in England are releasing players. Maybe there's some players here I can sign. I mean, does a 33-year-old Cody Gakpo want to come and play for Lewis FC? The answer is no. I think we all knew the answer, didn't we? Could well be barking up the wrong tree, but since players have just been released, maybe there's going to be some new players available if I search for players that are free agents. I mean, there are players here that I didn't see last episode. Whether or not they're actually good remains to be seen. I'm scrolling through this list hoping there's just going to be a brand new starting left-back of Championship quality. I think that's probably a kind of ambitious approach, isn't it? Juve has been released by West Ham and apparently would be good. In this universe, he has declined crazily. He must have had a lot of issues with injuries. I swear he has good potential in FM this year. He's not even had injuries. I've signed this guy in some of my big Premier League save games and he's been great. How has he been so bad? I mean, actually, now I look at it, the Football Manager transfer AI has done a number on him, hasn't it, really? He's played 24 games for West Ham in the last 7 years. That is wild. I mean, I'm not even sure he's quite good enough for us, but he's only 27. I mean, when I compare him against Denner, it's not like a completely different level. I suppose the issue here is probably going to be wage demands. Although 4.8 to 5.75 thousand pounds is not actually that outrageous, and he would likely get a work permit. I think this is the closest I've come to finding a new starting left wing back if Denner does leave. So I'd rather have an offer on the table that we can activate in an emergency if I can't sign anyone else. I'm going to try and knock his wage demands down just a little bit to £5,250. I feel like Juve's solid. I will have a look through the rest of the list. I don't think I'm going to find a better left-back. It does make me wonder, are there other gems outside of the left-back position who I should be looking at? Maybe I should do the same, but for right-sided players. I need a new backup right wing-back. Obviously, we do have a potential deal lined up, but I'm wary that other teams are interested. We've definitely got the pulling power to, actually attract players from slightly further afield than previous years, which I think is a good thing. I will admit, though, looking through some of these right-back options, I'm very, very underwhelmed. Of all the players I've looked at that can play right-back, Van Wyk here is not bad. South African youngster, but there is a bid from Sundowns on him already. He is about to turn 22, so he's not a youngster and he's not the quickest player in the world, but if the demands were reasonable, I might go for him. Sadly, he wants to start the majority of matches, so that is not going to work. Gerald Alders is not awful. He's not great, though, either, is he? The more I look through the backup right wing-back options available, the more I'm desperately thinking, Mulryan, please join us. Please, turn down Stoke. I'm not sure why I've been so hell-bent on signing free transfers. I need to remind myself, we do have a couple of million in the transfer budget. Who are the best players my scouts have looked at that would actually be useful for me? Apparently Jalen Blesser would be good. I don't know who gave him a 3.5 star kind of current ability scout report. They are a moron. I never do this. Career stats, all-time career goals. I want someone who's a proven goal scorer. They need at least 100 goals before the age of 25. I'll tell you what, if I somehow find a player here who's who's good. We might have found a new meta for finding players in Football Manager. Based on the players I can see here, I'm not sure any of them are actually going to be any good. I am still thinking about Reza Mohseni, who we scouted last episode. He, is quite a good little striker. Championship ability, could improve a lot. Admittedly, the could improve a lot is only 4 stars. As an alternative striking option, I do like the look of him. Iranian international, 1.3 million is not cheap. He'd be a new record transfer. It's this cluster of kind of 15s and 16s and 14s in the mentals that I do really like the look of. When I compare him against Quinones, the Colombian that we signed on a free transfer last episode, he's not as good technically, but physically and mentally outside of pace, he might have the edge. And when compared to Aguiar, I do feel like there's daylight between the two players. He has a release clause of 1.3 million. I am just going to trigger that immediately. Wages of £9,000 to £12,000 are a little bit concerning. Our current highest earner at the club is on £6,000, although the reality is for a championship team, there is going to come a point where we do need to spend some more money. We might be approaching that point. I wonder if I can get him down to around 8,000 with some favourable clauses. Putting a relegation release clause of £1 million, contract extension after promotion, top division promotional wage rise. I don't mind giving him a little bit more money up front as well. Let's suggest these terms. Probably should have negotiated it harder. I feel like that is a pretty acceptable contract. I feel like based on everything we outlined last episode, and we looked at him last episode and I did like the look of him, he is just the best fit. There's probably a couple of technicals of his that I wish were a little bit better, but I feel like we can't be too picky. Aaron Richards, our former star boy, is complaining about a lack of first team football, mate. I feel like it's time to sell you on. It's time to go. I'll offer him via transfer room, and we'll just set him transfer listed unspecified and see if we get any offers. One thing I've not done, and I'm actually going to do it here, is I'm going to create a new requirement for a starting left wing back and a starting right wing back, although actually we probably only need more of a backup left wing back. We'll go squad player here, and who knows, maybe I'll get some players suggested to me. A defensive mid, we'd like to get in a new defensive mid backup. I am going to select playing time regular starter just because I want a higher quality of player than what I suspect the game will think is a backup for us. And I suppose there's no harm in saying, look, I'm looking for an important centre forward. What have you got for me? And whilst we're here, you know what? Why not just say I'm looking for a regular starter in the free role as a bit of a backup to Ambrosio? It's a bit of a shame, really. I actually think the new transfer room stuff is a really good expansion on the old director of football signing system and kind of offering out and in players. It's just a shame that when you go to recruitment, it's hidden under the drop down. I feel like it's almost a bit hidden. And unless you're really delving into Football Manager's UI, when you first play the game, you never really find this screen. My scout report on Peter Griffin has come through. Oh, I do like Peter. I don't think he's all that. Apparently Inverness are interested in Andrew Cooper. I mean, we are interested in shifting him on. I'm hoping we can get some bids. Maybe if I hire an intermediary. I mean, it's not going to be monstrous offers we get for him, but it's better than getting no money whatsoever. There have been some more offers put in for William Jeffries. I'm kind of working on the assumption that I won't be signing Jeffries. Firstly, because I don't think he's going to choose to come to us, but also because I suspect, if he did agree to come to us, the amount that I'm having to pay him in wages, £15,000 a week, is just a little bit too high. I totally forgot I have Raymond Milligan at the club. Could Raymond Milligan be my backup left back if I need him to be? I mean, I don't really need a new backup wing-back. I need a starting wing-back, don't I? When you compare him against Denner is definitely better. When you compare him against Sassy, our current kind of left wing-back option, I mean, he's better defensively, but yes, Sassy has a lot of other stuff going in his favour. He's got 2 years left on his contract, to be honest. I think we should probably be looking to sell him rather than loan him out. We'll reject these loan offers for now. Yeah, I would ideally try and get some money for him immediately. Denner granted a work permit for his move to Crystal Palace. Oh, do I confirm this deal when I don't have a new left-back sorted? I do really, really like Denner. We picked him up on a free transfer a couple of years ago, but there's no denying he was, at times, just a bit of a nutcase. 2 red cards last season. The season before that, 13 yellow cards. The man, he's not really trained in the whole defending thing. He's just good at running and occasionally putting in a half-decent tackle. But yeah, in terms of his decision-making, not the best when it comes to crunching tackles. But I don't know if I'm going to get a better player. I am going to delay this transfer for now. I don't know if I need the money necessarily, but at the same time, for a club of our stature, I'm not sure it's really in my best business to be turning down 4.6 million for anyone. Never mind a left wing back who probably would be on the chopping block sooner rather than later. It'd definitely be useful if in the next week in the transfer room a few left wing backs get offered to me, because there's none on my radar right now. I mean, maybe Juve, but there's a lot of question marks behind Juve, isn't there? Cadiz have made an offer for Cooper, £37,000. I'm just going to take it. I'm not sure why, but they've offered to loan him back to me. No, thank you. I just want to get rid of him, really. Don't know if I'm going to regret not going in for Van Wyck. I think he's an okay left back. I'm not sure this is one we're going to regret, really. Okay, a couple of offers to Aaron Richards. £185,000 offered by Sheffield Wednesday. I'm going to try and bump it up a little bit. £200,000, 50% of any profit. You know what? That's good enough for me. Presumably Burton will just match that offer. Indeed, they have. Okay, Masseni waiting on a work permit. We'll find out in a couple of days if he gets granted it. I think he could be a really good kind of central attacking option for us this year. He would be a record transfer at £1.3 million. There would certainly be some pressure on him. The news I was dreading. Moore Ryan has agreed a move with QPR for £350,000. They've brought him in as a squad player. Presumably now they won't let me loan him. They would let me loan him, but they want me to pay all of his wages, which is quite a lot for a backup right back. Juve, we get a work permit application for. He could be the option at left wing back. And there has been on some offers for Raymond Milligan. I was not sure what kind of bids to expect for this guy because his valuation seemed oddly high. A couple of bids here worth significant money, but the Shelburne one is worth so much more than the others. They've offered me £350,000 up front. It will definitely rise to just shy of £500,000. And if he plays 50 league games, it's another 150k. These other offers are just locked in as well at lower sums. So yeah, hopefully he's going to accept that middle offer. I think that is some pretty good money. Wondering now if there's other players in the under-21s like Milligan who I should be looking to sell on, like Gnolu. He was one of a couple of players he signed from Linfield. He is never going to play for us, is he? Let's see if we can get any interest in him. There's also players like Castillo that we should probably try and move on if we can. I guess Mafiko falls into a similar bracket. Probably Aaron Best as well, and Jaden Williams. It's like a forgotten generation of Lewis FC players here. Milligan wants to discuss future, mate. Your future is at Shelburne. Get used to it. I'll tell him I accept a bid of 1.2 million from other teams just to keep him happy. The reality is if someone bids half of that, I'll probably accept it. I think I like this transfer. I think I do. I feel like Mosseni for the £1.3 million is really, really good value in the market. Not only as a striker, but also as potentially, a centre attacking mid option. We don't exactly have an abundance of players in that number 10 position. So definitely a position he could play for us. It's a record transfer. In the grand scheme of modern football, £1.3 million for a championship level striker really isn't that much, though. Welcoming in Reza Mosseni. Oh, I'm excited for him. He's a fun player. I feel like 15 flair, 16 teamwork, 15 vision, good passing as a striker. He could be great. As a centre attacking mid, he could be great too. If there is a concern, it's probably his kind of ball control. His first touch and dribbling could leave a little bit to be desired. There are a couple of players like Harvey Vale that I do feel like we can afford to offer out now. I mean, right now, this is my team to start the year. BJS with the new additions in the midfield. Of course, Silva signed late on in last season. Had a really good couple of games when he did play for us. Mosseni and Ambrosio through the middle. Two really, really exciting players. Really happy as well that Ambrosio has immediately come back to the team, started pre-season, and already there's green arrows. I suppose the weird thing is, at least right now, the rest of the team, kind of, the rest of the 7 players, completely unchanged. If Denner goes, that will be slightly different. Besides that, though, I don't know if there's that many more gaps left in the team. If I was looking for kind of immediate improvements for the first team, it probably would be a left back, if such a thing existed. Maybe a long-term succession plan for Suljic would be good. We know that he is leaving on a free at the end of the season. I have just noticed here, his valuation has jumped up to £10 million. Is that because his release clause expired? If someone bid that kind of money, and I did see a kind of Middle Eastern team name here, Al Khalij, if they've got 10 million, I'd probably take it. This might be controversial. I would not be offering Suljic out because he's in the final year of his contract, but that value of £10 million just makes me feel like we should probably test the waters a little bit. If I do sell Suljic, it will leave Haddad as one of my centre-back options. And then I suppose behind him we'd have O'Loughlin, who I think could be a starting Championship centre-back. And then Lowry Home would be the next backup. If I sell Suljic, I probably would look to sign a new starting centre-back, to be honest. You know what? Let's see if there's even any interest in him. There has not been, massive bids ever put in for him, but with the release clause to Premier League teams expired, maybe teams further afield will have caught whiff of him. Okay, Juve has been granted a work permit to come and play for us. I mean, if I lose Denner, I actually don't hate Juve as an option. It's weird. I feel like when you look at his polygon, he looks really, really underwhelming. But when you look at his underlying numbers, he has some really good stuff in really good areas. And actually, he's very well-rounded. It's just, it's lots of 11s and 12s, where maybe you'd like to see 13s and 14s in certain attributes. But with really good crossing, decent acceleration, playing as a more advanced wing-back, like, he kind of suits this role really well. As much as I would like to gun for promotion this year, I am kind of coming around to the idea that this could be a second season of consolidation in the Championship. Our reputation just hasn't creeped up enough. What I will say is, with additions we've made to the team, we are now 14th in the season preview, so we are becoming a more mid-table team as opposed to a team predicted to be towards the bottom. And it's kind of with that ambition of just cementing ourselves as a Championship team, maybe pushing for the playoffs. I feel like maybe just cashing in on Denner isn't the worst idea in the world. I think regardless, to be honest, bringing in Juve to be a bit of depth probably isn't the worst idea either. It's a £16,000 signing. That is literally just the agent fees. Okay, Jimenez was not granted a work permit. I am very, very tempted to just give this guy an ESC slot. We have 4 of them. I'm only using 1 of them right now. Premier League potential, £500,000. Already consistent. Very, very good in the air. This might be a mistake. I'm going to allocate him a spot. It's going to be a spot he is probably holding down for the foreseeable because he's not going to get the game time. I think this boy could be really good, though. Okay, the Juve signing is confirmed with Denner leaving. I'll probably still look for a left wing back, but he could definitely be an option. We've had an offer for Gnolu here. We signed this guy on a free transfer. He's not been near our first team. I think one of these offers was not insignificant either. Aberdeen have offered me really good money. I'm going to try and squeeze £500,000 out of them. Why not try and squeeze a bit of money out of them? And I'll ask for a 30% sell-on. They've accepted that. I'm pretty happy with that. Between Gnolu and Milligan, we are turning players that are just, players that have never really featured in the first team and planted in the under-21s into like £1 million between them. There was no offers for Mafico, Castillo or Williams in the under-21s. Still no word on the Suljic interest, though. Jimenez is here. I have a lot of excitement for this guy. I think he could be really, really good, especially if our scouts are right about his potential. Going to train him to play ball-playing centre-back with a focus on his quickness. He's got a bit of lead in his boots with 9 acceleration and 10 pace. He's the kind of player we'll have training in the first team, but he's definitely going to be available for the under-21s this year. No interest in Suljic, Jean-Philippe or Vale is a bit unfortunate. If I talk to intermediaries, yeah, there's no interest in Vale. What about if I transfer list him? I suppose it's worth a go. Suljic is wanted, but I wonder if these teams are just waiting for him to become a free agent. If I ask his agent about the interest, none of them want to make a bid right now. I mean, to be fair, why sign him for 10 million when you could get him for a free later? I'm a bit desperate. Let's have a look at intermediaries. I mean, the intermediaries think they could get bids, but these bids, when you consider the fees as well, I'd almost rather just keep him for an extra season and lose him on a free versus selling him for less than, what, £4 million? Jean-Philippe also didn't attract any interest. With intermediaries, I could maybe get an offer of £500,000. I feel like intermediaries are almost never worth it. Like, they seem to just sell players for absolutely insanely low prices. We'll transfer list Jean-Philippe and still see how we get on. After his whole ACL injury, I kind of just want to cash in on him while we can. Speaking of injuries, Garcia's going to miss the next 4 days to 8 weeks, and Mosseni sprained ankle ligaments for the record transfer. It's not an ideal start to pre-season for him. William Jeffries has accepted an offer from Wrexham. I offered him £15,000 to come for me. I'm very interested to know how much he signed for Wrexham for, and I'm prepared to be made very cross by Football Manager. I will say it has done the thing where it says it's accepted his offer, but it's not gone through yet. Are they waiting on a work permit for him? I assume they are. Last year we had that whole thing with Zongo, didn't we, where he accepted to go to Oxford and then just never signed for them. If Jeffries wants to do that, that would be very nice. I mean, right now in terms of first team transfer decisions, the only decision really to make is on, do I sell Denner? Do I think Sassy and Juve between them are good enough backups? I mean, the money for Denner is just very, very good. I might be crazy, like, I actually really, really rate Juve. And I'm not sure why. I think maybe my judgment on him is clouded by other save games I've seen. But yeah, I feel like he could be a very, very good player. He's a consistent performer. Like I said, ambitious because he's a bit older, maybe can offer a bit of influence in the changing room. What I will say is, regardless of what happens with Denner, the first team is undoubtedly better than it was last season. It's not like we've gutted it out completely. And interestingly enough here, I've got a load of players suggested for each position, although it's exactly 6 players for every position, which is a bit odd. I mean, at left back, Benamar is transfer listed by Crystal Palace. Are they selling him to bring in Denner? Is that what's going on here? I mean, I'll be real with you, there's not a world of difference between him and Denner. The issue is, for Dean here, he's on £18,000 a week, which means if I want to sign him, there is no doubt in my mind he just wants far too much money. The other left wing-back options that are being recommended to me, leaving a lot to be desired. I just realised I still don't have a backup right-back, do I? I still don't have one. I mean, Berta is transfer listed by Birmingham City. He's actually not the worst right-back in the world. I feel like actually of all areas of the pitch, maybe right wing-back and left wing-back is the major issue. Garcia's out injured. If that was the case going into the season, which it shouldn't be because he's going to be back fit, O'Connor would be the only backup right wing-back option I have. I feel like he's just too slow to play as a wing-back. Someone like Berta that we just looked at is a better suited right wing-back option, I suppose. I just wonder if we can do better. I mean, there are a few different players recommended here. Capaccio for 4 million is a quality right-back option, but the wages are just problematic. Richard Elise's good, not great. I mean, Misic here is 20 years old and plays in Croatia. He is crazy, crazy quick. Good determination. Limited ability in the technical department. As a backup right back, would he be serviceable? Maybe. I mean, he has that level of athleticism that O'Connor is lacking, and the fact he's got good crossing dribbling could lead him quite well to that advanced wing-back role that we do like to use. Of all the players here recommended to me, I do think Misic is the best of the bunch. He's happy to be a backup, wages aren't too unreasonable, does want a minimum release clause. I'm going to ask if they are willing to not lock that in immediately, which they are, so that's promising. It might be a little bit of a stopgap at right wing-back, but I feel like we need to be in the market for someone, and Marco could be that backup. Okay, our initial bid has been accepted of £425,000. No qualms there. Obviously, there were some other positions I requested players in. Maybe there's some good options here that have been recommended to me. Or maybe they're all absolutely rubbish. Not loving these players. I mean, genuinely, and I do really mean this, Peter Griffin, of all the options I've looked at, would be the least bad striking option. But we do already have a real abundance of strikers, and I don't think he offers us anything we don't already have. I mean, actually, when you look at the team sorted by ability, why am I even looking at attackers? We've got so many players who can play on the left, can play on the right, can play at striker, can play at centre attacking mid. I don't think I need any more, do I? Like, there is too many here. If I exclude a few of the players who, you know, play more defensive, deeper positions, or that I just don't intend on using, I've got 8 players competing for 4 spots in the first team here. I need to say no to transfers. I need to control myself. I genuinely think that with Aguiar as a striking option, Reza Moseni as a striking option, and Julio Quinones as well, there's basically 3 players there who I think are primarily going to play through the middle, but can also play various other positions for us. And for each of these players, I kind of feel like they all offer something different. I think with the change in tactical system, we might, in possession, see a bit of a variety of roles being used. We might mix things up here quite a lot as the season goes on. We've got 28 players in the first team right now, but that includes Jimenez and Tanko, who are definitely going to be more under 21 players this year that we give some game time to. So that kind of gives us a squad of 26. If Denner leaves, that's a squad of 25. At this point, I'm beginning to think, am I just trying to sign players for the sake of it? I feel like there comes a point where you need to be like, hey, maybe we're just happy with what we've got. And maybe I'm there now. I think if we can get Misic in as a right wing-back, we might just be done. Which feels bizarre to say. Of course, saying all of that, if some random-ass player who's absolutely incredible gets offered to me, might still sign them. Misic's wage demands are a little higher than I necessarily want them to be. He's also wanting a minimum release clause. We're going to remove and exclude that. He also wants wage rises after certain numbers of games played. Mate, you're getting a little bit greedy here. I think £4,000 is a pretty kind of good limit to have on more backup players. I might be tempted to go up to £4,500. Let's get rid of the yearly wage rise. 50% top division promotional wage rise as well is fine. Oh, you are a pain in the arse. Look at this. After 25 games, he wants £9,000. I thought I'd found my backup right back, and Misic has ruined it. I say he's ruined it. It's his agent. Blame the agent. I am still questioning if this is the right decision to do, but I feel like with the 50% sell-on, £4.6 million all up front, it'd almost be silly not to sell Denner now. I'm going to hit accept. I might regret that. I'll tell you what, Juve really has to be as good as I'm hoping he's going to be, or that is a tragic transfer decision. I feel like throughout our time here at Lewis FC, there's been a bit of a conveyor belt of signing players for free, selling them on for money when the offer is right, and it's never truly backfired on us. And that left-back move, that could be one that I do look at with a bit of regret, but the money, 4.6 million, it's just too much to refuse. Rangers have made a Suljic offer. Jean-Philippe's had an offer that could rise to £1.6 million. Now, it's a guaranteed £1.25 million. We do have to pay a little bit of his wages. I am taking that money and running. He has missed an entire season with an ACL, which killed his physicals. We signed him for 200k. He's played 6 games. We're making £1 million profit. We've had an inquiry made about Teo. Oh, would I be willing to let Teo go? Sheffield Wednesday expressing interest for 950k. They've offered 650. How about 800 and a percentage of profit of 30%? Sheffield Wednesday hated that. I don't feel like we have to sell Teo, but if there is some interest there, it probably would be silly not to let him go. If I ask the agent, reckons he can get £700,000 from Sheffield Wednesday. Maybe we should do that. Oh my word, Rangers have made an offer for Suljic. 7.5 million could rise to 9.25 million. I'm losing him for a guaranteed free transfer. Like, he's leaving on a free no matter what I do. He's already told me he intends to leave. It would be ridiculous not to cash in. I mean, the fact that Rangers have left this all open to negotiation, and I know there's other interested teams, makes me want to try and get as much money as I can for Suljic here, at the risk of maybe being a bit greedy. He's valued at 10 to 12 million. They offered me, like, I think it was up to just shy of 10 million with clauses. If I just ask for 17, is that stupid? I mean, they've not told me to immediately do one. I think there's a deal to be negotiated here. How about 16 million, 13% sell-on? They might meet me midway here. All right, Rangers, you drive a hard bargain. 15 million, 30% suggest. They're still not walking away. The bid they just offered, I think, was just shy of 12 million. I'm going to ask for 14 million. I want it all up front. Suggest. He's gone. Sell him. 14 million for Suljic. That is beyond my wildest expectations. In retrospect now, definitely didn't need to sell Denner. 14 million. 14! I suppose it'd be silly now, wouldn't it, not to just offer him out for a bit more. See if we can get a bidding war going. I mean, what do I do with 14 million? The thing is, I can't sign players who are worth 14 million pounds because undoubtedly their wages are just too high. Also, Cooper's turned down the move to Cadiz. That's annoying. I'll tell you what, if Suljic turns down this offer and Jean-Philippe turns down this offer, I'm going to be fuming. Those are 2 players I just want to get out the door for this money now. Although if I'm selling Suljic, what am I doing about the centre-back position? I mean, we've got O'Loughlin and Haddad, and I've got Home. I've got Ivisic. Right, Scouts, you've been busy. Centre-backs sorted by ability. Who are the best centre-backs that I have scouted? Apparently it's Mitchell here, which, I'm going to be honest, he is tragic. I hope he's not the best. Oh my word, these players are all really bad. And these are the players at the top who have good scout-like ratings. Brodie Spencer. Ugh. I mean, in terms of the players I've already got scouted, I am firmly underwhelmed by all these players. If I sort players by valuation here, like, there are actually players being suggested. I mean, Sarr was just relegated with Ipswich Town down to League One. The wages are a problem, aren't they? Vale here is asking to leave. He is playing for Celtic's under-21s. He's not playing enough. He's not a bad centre-back, but I don't think he's better than O'Loughlin. If I had to play O'Loughlin and Haddad, is it the worst idea in the world? I don't necessarily necessarily think so. The primary issue would be that besides these two, I'm not sure I have the quality at the defence kind of to play a free at the back. We still have Teo, but I feel like I should probably have taken that money that Sheffield Wednesday offered for Teo in retrospect. I guess the only thing I could do is play Jimenez a load, which if I am going for this developmental era and year where we do just bring in a load of players and give them game time, the 18-year-old who my scouts are really, really bigging up and I'm putting a lot of faith in, like, I could just give him game time. Oh, I don't know what to do. I was never planning on selling Suljic, but the money that's been offered is stupendous. Right, Richards is leaving to join Sheffield Wednesday. I actually asked Teo's agent to look at moves and he managed to get Sheffield Wednesday to come in again with £700,000. I'm just going to take that money. Chesterfield have put in an offer for Raymond Milligan. I'd already accepted an offer that was about the same amount as this, so I'm just going to accept this as an alternative move for him. Bizarrely, Homie, who was here on an ESC work permit, has been granted a full work permit for the rest of his move. He definitely didn't play the 60% of minutes, so that is puzzling. Oh my word, I was panicking. Zongo got an injury. It's not a long-term one. That would have been disastrous. Okay, Jean-Philippe set to move, and annoyingly, Wrexham have managed to sign Jeffries. I offered Jeffries £15,000. He's joined Wrexham for £31,000. You know what? Fair enough, I couldn't offer him that. I'll tell you what, 1.6 million for Jean-Philippe is absolutely silly money. I have just realised with our recruitment budgets, we're currently only getting 60% of the transfer revenue being made available. Maybe I should ask the board if we can have that be a bit higher before Suljic's transfer goes through. All right, I've asked Jordan to increase the percentage of transfer revenue. I'm really hoping they'll grant me that because our overall balance is £8 million. So, yeah, there's no reason they shouldn't grant me that. Okay, the board turned down my initial request. I'm going to push hard for this and really push for it because I'm hoping they'll listen to me. Thank you, Jordan. They're increasing the percentage of transfer revenue. It was 60%. It is now 100%. That is massive. There's so much chaotic stuff going on, and while it's all going on, I've just got loads of scout reports appearing still. Oxford United have made an offer for Aguiar. They've offered £7 million, potentially. What is this offer? What is this offer? I mean, it's very clause dependent. Oh, I don't want to sell Aguiar. I really like Aguiar. But it is so much money. I mean, I was greedy with Suljic. Do I get greedy with Aguiar? I don't feel like I have to sell this guy. You know, he's got a few years left on his contract. He's here for the long haul. I'm going to be stupidly greedy. If they say no to this, fair enough. If they say yes to this, then they can have him. 12.5 million. And I want 30% of any sell on. Oh, they've not immediately told me to do one. Okay, how about £12 million? They're currently offering me, with fees, 8.82 million. Oh, I really don't want to sell Aguiar. I really don't want to. You know what? That's a blessing. I probably could have got like 9-10 million for him, but I just like him. And at this point, I'm not sure we need more money. Like with Suljic, my hands were tied because he's in the final year of his deal and I'm going to lose him for nothing. But Aguiar is proven to be a goal scorer. I like him a lot. I'm not sure I need more money to reinvest in the club right now either. Right, Mohamed Nolu is signing for Aberdeen. That is half decent money for someone who never ever played for us. £500,000 there. Oh no, Juve is injured. Please don't be a bad injury. Please don't be a bad injury. Okay, 1 to 2 days. Football Manager knows how to wind me up. I mean, right now there is no pending in transfers. It's literally all about the Suljic deal. £14 million and Milligan also leaving for money too. You know what the worst thing is? I've got to go out very shortly. I don't think I'm finishing today's transfer special before I need to go out. I'm going to go out, live my life for a few hours, and all I'm going to be thinking about is what the hell I'm doing with the rest of this transfer window. Okay, Milligan going to Chesterfield, £675,000. Yes, please. And now I'm just waiting on Suljic. If Suljic goes, like, we look at centre-back options, but the issue I've got is my first team is already quite complete. Like, it is a 25-man squad. I feel like we've largely got rid of players that I needed or wanted to get rid of. And so we're in this weird spot where I'm going to have money to potentially reinvest, but firstly, I don't know if there's going to be players that are actually worth spending the money I have on. But also, if I'm signing players, it might be moving other players out. Suljic set to sign for Rangers. I mean, that is stupid, isn't it? He does get a sell-on of 2.8 million. We still get over £10 million of it, which I think is a bit too good to turn down when we knew he's leaving on a free. The fact we have a sell-on as well could potentially be huge. Join us on a free transfer kind of served his purpose, I guess, over the last 2 seasons. I was kind of accepting we'd get nothing for him. Yeah, you know what? I'll drive him to Scotland myself. He kind of looks quite good in blue, doesn't he? Annoyingly, he does look very good in blue. Now, with that deal done, our overview looks very silly. We've got an overall bank balance of £21.2 million, which for most championship teams would be silly. For us, that is bonkers. And in terms of the recruitment budget, I mean, there's £16 million to spend now. But I don't really want to blow up the wage structure. Like, I could offer one new signing £20,000 and sign them for £10 million, but suddenly all the other key players will want that £20,000 wages, and very quickly we will start kind of hemorrhaging money. This is now going to be a very weird season. We've just lost our star centre-back. I'm almost accepting, especially with Denner going as well, this is a season of consolidation. Like, we have this crazily young team. I think we just try and let all these guys develop whilst we try and find out what our new tactical identity is. Also, I've just remembered, I've been discussing a new centre defensive middle window. I've still got Sheldon Gordon in the youth team, who was out on loan last year, who's actually quite a good defensive mid. I mean, to be fair, he could probably just be the alternative centre defensive mid backup I need. So far, I've been recording for 2 hours and 20 minutes. Once it's edited down, I have no idea how long it's going to be. Like I said, I've got to go out now and just stew over this. When I come back, I'm hoping I've come up with a plan. You know, it's the equivalent of going up to kind of some kind of monastery up in the mountains, meditating and coming back with enlightenment. Hopefully Future Jack has a plan. Suljic selling kind of was never the plan. And I don't know what to do now. Okay, folks, Jack from the future here. I've actually edited down the video so far. I've sat back down thinking, I think I know how I'm going to approach things here at Lewis FC. And it might be a little bit controversial. The issue that I've got is, as lovely as a £16 million transfer budget is, in terms of the players I can realistically sign with that money, there really isn't that many players valued at close to the sum that would actually sign for us. And I know what you're thinking, there's a centre-back here at Barcelona. Going to be frank with you, he's just not very good. With respect to what the Rock is cooking, this Rock is not cooking anything. He is awful. And whilst I might just keep half an eye out for an option, I think rather than spending money right now for the sake of it, as a club with League 2 reputation, leaning on the 25-man squad at my disposal, a young squad that hopefully we can develop this year with a view to basically build up a bit of reputation this season, hopefully maybe push on towards the playoffs, and ultimately set ourselves up so that next season, next summer, I actually have the ability to attract some proper talent to the team for an actual promotion push. That's not to say I won't potentially look in the market for a centre-back, but having had a bit of a look through already, there just really isn't any options there. So I will apologise if this is a bit of a dissatisfactory end to the episode, and whilst I could go out and spend a load of money for the sake of it, I never really envisaged a world where we'd have tens of millions of pounds in the bank balance at this moment in time with this current squad. And so if I was to sign anyone, all they're really going to do is deprive opportunities for young players that have come in the last year or two. So that all said and done, we're going to be back tomorrow to take on Wigan. You can let me know what you think of this approach. It is worth noting, obviously, the transfer window is still open beyond the start of the season. If there is outrage and pitchforks in the comments, who knows, maybe I will yield and change my ways. But I just feel like with where we're at right now, especially with the shift in tactical system, I just want to stick with the team that we've got and see how they fare. I have no doubt that what we've cooked up this season for the new season is going to need some tinkering. There will be roles that change here. I'm sure there'll maybe be positions that will change. If it really doesn't work, we'll blow it all up and go back to what we played before. Admittedly, we might have a bit of a problem at centre-back, but that is something that we can address with time. We will leave things there for today. Go down below, leave a prediction for the upcoming season. Last year we finished 10th. We've lost some key players in Denner and Suljic. I feel like if we can get a second top half finish in a row, that would be fine by me. I think next episode to kick off the season, we're going to do a triple header. So come back tomorrow, leave a like if you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you next time for more. I'm out.